Greetings, whole family. It's your girl Gabby, the Divine Pioneer, and I'm back with another YouTube video. So if you're new, please do yourself and me a favor and hit the subscribe button and give me a like if this content resonates with you. And if you are a returning watcher, I do appreciate you and my highest gratitude. So today is going to be a short message, just some observations that I've been making in the collective consciousness, the collective, spirit. And things are chaotic right now. I'm not sure who this is for, but if you find this message is definitely an intuitive message from my spirit to yours. And I want you to know that you have the power to change your circumstances. I know we are constantly distracted. You live with certain people that also distract you, your family, your children, your spouse, all that. Then you have, third party people. You got cousins and siblings and aunties and uncles and grandparents and everybody else. Your life can be filled with so many distractions. And what it does is it stops you from achieving your highest potentials. So you might be settling in a career that does not suit you. And you're just settling because the hustle and bustle, the day-to-day, the grind. You in grind time. I get it. I used to be 9 to 5 in it too. But you do have the power to change that. I hope you know this. Your predominant thoughts are going to shape your reality. So whatever you're predominantly thinking, this is now what your reality is in this present moment. So I get how difficult that can be to really start shaping a new reality while you're in the thick of this one that you already created. So the technique is not difficult, but it's not simple. It's a deliberate technique. And I'm going to tell you what it is. You have to literally imagine yourself in a different existence. Imagine what your life looks like not going to that job that you hate. Imagine what it feels like for the people around you to kind of ease up off you and allow you to have less distractions and more time to yourself. What does that feel like? What would you do? And imagine what you would be doing. Okay, well, what would I be doing if, I didn't have to, take Granny to her doctor's appointments every Tuesday and Wednesday? What would I be doing with that time? Or what would life look like for me if, I wasn't doing carpooling, for the kids' sports? I mean, whatever the hell is tying you up and distracting you. Imagine that thing disappearing, and now you are this person, undistracted with this time. What are you doing with that time? Close your eyes. Do it before you go to sleep too. It's not easy because sometimes you are worn the hell out. I know. I have 2 autistic children. I know. And when you hit the bed, sometimes you can barely keep your eyes open. But this is what makes it not necessarily easy. This is what the difficulty is. Remembering to use your imagination. And in doing so, that visualizing what it smells like. You know what I'm saying? How does the lighting feel? Is the sun shining on you? Are you at the public pool with your feet, you know what I'm saying, sitting in the pool, reading a book? What are you doing? What does it feel like? Okay? And when you start to do this consistently, the universe is now going to pick up on that frequency and say, well, what you're doing right now is not in alignment with the frequency that you're emitting. So, by divine design, universal laws say that the universe has to deliver on that frequency. So, your only job is to hold that frequency. And every time you get a moment, I don't care if you're sitting at the red light, you know, instead of imagining that instead of doing whatever you do, like let's just say you're a Uber and a Lyft driver and you do Instacart or whatever, but you know you don't want to be doing that. Maybe you want to be a luxury limousine driver for the celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so imagine that your passenger is like Drake or Chris Brown, Free Breezy. You feel me? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, get creative as hell with this. And I know it sounds delusional, but the magic happens in the belief, and you have to hold that frequency. When I tell you, you will start to see doors opening. You will start to meet the right people. You will start to overhear other people's conversations that magically happen and pertain to some shit that you want to do. And you done took some little information without even directly talking to somebody. You just overheard some shit that's in alignment with your assignment. The universe will start to speak to you through angel numbers. You will start to see confirmation from your ancestors, your guardian angels, your spirit guides. God speaks through numbers. Okay? So what you need to understand is that, no, it's not easy to do. But it's also not difficult. Tap back into your childhood self. When you used to like play all of these imaginative games, you used to make up shit like you was a cowboy or a cowgirl in space. You know what I'm saying? And like you was like hunting Martians and all of this weird shit in your mind, and you really felt it and it felt real. You know what I'm saying? You got to tap into that level of imagination where you can see your surroundings transform just in your mind. So once you hold that frequency, you see, now you start to attract. Once this becomes your dominant frequency. So it's not going to happen after 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 visualizations. You have to deliberately do this and take time each day. Because what you've been deliberately focusing on is that 9 to 5, picking up granny, taking the kids to soccer practice, basketball practice, whatever. What you've been focusing on is going to Walmart, paying that gas and that light bill. These are the things that you've been primarily focusing on. So this is why your reality is consumed by this shit. So just like you put all your energy and attention into these things that no longer serve you, that are not leading up to the life that you want, you have to take that same time and energy and effort and redirect it into what is in alignment with you. Alignment with the divine assignment. We all have a mission, a passion, and a purpose. And it usually is lying dormant until you actively pursue it. So many of us are afraid to fail. Living in fear of failure deters you from even taking a step in the direction you want. But there's only 2 choices in this life. 2. Fear or love. And if you want to continue to operate out of scarcity and fear, you're going to get more of the same dissatisfied life. But if you choose love, the love of yourself, the love of God, the love of all the joy in the world, knowing that you can have a peace too. You didn't come here to just suffer. So this message is so important now because people are crashing out. People crashing out, seriously. And it's because their spirit is like, yo, I didn't come here for this. You need to get on track. Your spirit is like screaming because you're investing all your creative energy and all your, all your talents and abilities are being invested in the wrong place. So now you finding yourself irritable. You annoyed. You arguing back and forth with this one, arguing back and forth with that one. There's no peace. You go home, you arguing with your spouse. There's no peace. You're unhappy, you're unmotivated. Thoughts become things. So if you mulling over the bills and you stressing over money, you're going to keep attracting more things to stress over and more situations that you don't got the money for. Right? Everything is spiritual. I don't care what nobody tell you. Mark my words. Everything is spiritual. Everything starts in your heart, in your heart space, right? You got to really believe in something. And a lot of us don't even have something to believe in. Or you have something to believe in, you just won't believe in it because your reality says otherwise. But this is where your imagination, this is where the power of belief comes into play. The magic is in the belief. In order to believe, you have to start visualizing and imagining. So much so that you can't tell what's real and not real. And once you can hold that energy, then you can start to shape it. And that frequency that you emit, the universe will pick up on that frequency and start bringing everything to you. You'll start attracting all that your heart desires. And it's not easy, but it's not difficult either. What it is an intention. The intention is what sparks, you know what I'm saying, and ignites that flame in you. So I don't care if you at the market, you know what I'm saying, and you shopping, doing your routine grocery shopping for the house, because you cook for the house, right? But what if your dream was to be a chef? When you go in that market, baby, act like you shopping, you know what I'm saying, because you about to chef up something at the White House. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick every damn fruit and veggie and your meat, whatever you're going to do. Just do that shit like you was about to cook a meal for Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? Or Donald Trump. Whatever floats your boat. I don't really do the politics thing. But at any rate, what I'm saying to you is that you are more than capable of changing your life. And I know people are crashing out at an alarming rate. There's so much going on. But don't forget to remember how powerful you are as the magician. I always mess that word up. You are the magician of your own life. You wield the wand. Your words are your wand. You understand? So this is why you can use affirmations to kind of train yourself. The affirmations is not necessarily where the power lies. The power lies in the belief in what you're saying to yourself. So the belief is the magic, the intention. You understand? Is how you get to that magic. So I wanted to jump on and just leave you guys with that. I don't want to make this video too much longer. Definitely, if you like this content, please like, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow. Growth is, it's going to happen naturally, but I would ask to definitely subscribe because it does help the channel. We want the algorithm to know that people are actually watching, even though sometimes it doesn't look like that. Oddly enough, if I was to turn this video into a short, I would get a sizable amount of views. However, long form, I haven't been getting all the love that I was hoping for, but it's all good. I'm not going to give up. I'm not really in it for all the views anyway. I'm in it for the message to be delivered to who needs to receive the message. So even if 1 or 2 people saw this and it was resonant and it made sense and it helped them in some way, then the mission has been accomplished. But I'm going to leave you with this. The universe conspires on your behalf to give you all things you need and want. And all good things come to you in divine order and divine timing. And love and light.